We are going book shopping today. I'm dressed and I'm about to head out. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Karen. I do a lot of books, fashion, lifestyle content. If any of that is of interest to you, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm heading to Barnes & Nobles. I already have a lot of books that I want to show you that I got on Book Outlet, but I also want to go pick out like maybe 2 or 3 books from Barnes & Nobles because they are having the Book Outlet sale. So we're just gonna see what we find. Alright, so I have quite a few books to show you. I only got 2 of Barnes & Nobles, and then I have like 6 or 7 books that I bought on a Book Outlet, and they took forever to get here, and they're finally here. We're gonna do a little haul. And then also there's one book that somebody sent to me. It was not one of those Amazon wishlist books. It was a publisher, or I don't know who sent a book to me, but it's gonna be included in this haul, and hopefully I end up figuring out who sent me that one. The lighting's kind of weird, but I do need the lamp on over here so I can read the back of the book for you guys. You know the drill. I was at Barnes & Nobles for a while. I got 2 books, and they came in this cute little novelty bag. So I'm gonna show you those first. I saw Haley Pham read this recently. It's called The Bodyguard, Catherine Center. There we go. The cover is super cute. This is a hardcover book. I don't usually get hardcovers, but this one was on sale and they matched the price for me. If you don't know, if you see a book being super cheap on the Barnes & Nobles website and then you go into the store and it is full price, they can match the price for you. A little book hack for you. So this one, a lot of people actually gave it reviews. Emily Henry gave it a review, Helen Huang gave it a review, Christina Lauren. It's amazing how many people give it a review. So pretty much this is about kind of like a luxury bodyguard. She works for this company that protects like celebrities and big shot people, and I think she's about to get assigned to the case where she has to watch this celebrity actor guy, and I'm guessing there's a love story there. I started reading it when I was in Barnes & Nobles, and I'm on page 30. I think it's gonna be a super quick read, but it's super cute, and we'll see at the end of the year, at the end of the month, how much I like this one. I'm kind of going through a fantasy phase right now, meaning that A Court of Thorns and Roses has really gotten me into fantasy genre, and I've seen this series everywhere. I think it also has a cult following, and that's the Shatter series by Tahari Mafi. I don't know if that's how you say their name, but I got the first book in the Shatter series. I've seen a lot of people read this. A lot of the booktubers that I watch religiously have read the series. Yeah, I just got the first book. I'm not the type of person that gets all the books from the series before reading it and knowing if I'm gonna like it, because I just don't think I can commit to a series just based on other people's opinions. So I have to actually see for myself. So I read book number 1 and then see what it's about. So I'm gonna read the description in the back. It says, the moon understands what it means to be human, uncertain, alone, cratered by imperfections. No one knows why Juliet touch is fatal, but the establishment has plans for her, plans to use her as a weapon. But Juliet has plans of her own. After a lifetime without freedom, she's finally discovering strength to fight for the very first time and to find a future with the boy she thought she lost forever. In the electrifying first book in the Shatter series, Tahiri Mafi presents a riveting dystopian world and thrilling superhero story and unforgettable heroine. So that's what this one's about. Now on to all the books that I got from Book Outlet. When I was shopping for books on that website, I was going through a major thriller era, and to this day I think thriller is one of my favorite genres. It'll forever be probably my number 2. I have no idea if that's gonna be true though, because I really enjoy fantasy, but I go through their books so freaking fast. So thriller books, horror books, they're kind of my thing now. I was watching Hailey Bieber's video where she read 7 thrillers in 7 days, and I'm gonna show you some of the ones she mentioned and some of the ones that I've seen other people also read. They're very popular books, and I got like 5 books for only like $38 in Book Outlet. If you have never heard of Book Outlet, it's not sponsored by the way, but they have a lot of sales. The first book that I got was Look Every Door by Riley Seeger. I have never read a Riley Seeger book. I have heard that he or she, I have no idea if this is a man, if I'm totally honest. I've heard that this author writes a lot of really good thrillers, and this one, we'll see what it's about. It says, her dream apartment, her worst nightmare. After responding to a mysterious newspaper advertisement, Jules Larson gets a job at an apartment sister at the Bartolomeo, one of Manhattan's most famous and secretive buildings. At first, the extravagance of the Bartolomeo feels like a lucky break for her recently heartbroken and penniless Jules, who has been haunted by misfortune for most of her life. But when a fellow apartment sitter in the building goes missing, Jules begins to suspect there are dark forces at work behind the Bartolomeo's glamorous facade. Digging deeper into the building's past, Jules soon realizes that Bartolomeo is more dangerous than she thought, and that escape may be impossible. I'm intrigued. I'll be reading this. Then I'm putting a pause to the Book Outlet haul to show you guys a book that was sent to me by, I'm guessing it was some type of publisher. The note said it was complimentary from this one company, but I can't find them anywhere to thank them, so there's that. This Go Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. Don't know if that's how you say that. This is a fae book. If you read A Court of Thorns and Roses, you know what fae are. This book is about, it says, ever since she was cursed by a fairy, Theodora Edens has no sense of fear or embarrassment, an unfortunate condition that leaves her prone to accidental scandal. Dora hopes to be quiet, sensible, and flower during the London season, but when Elias Balder, the handsome, peculiar, and utterly ill-mannered Lord Sorcerer, discovers her condition, she's instead drawn into dangerous fairy affairs. I have no idea what this is about. If her reputation can survive both of her curse and her sudden connection with the least like men in all of high society, then she and her family may yet reclaim their normal place in the world. But the longer Dora spends with Elias, the more she begins to suspect that one may indeed fall in love with only half a soul. So dystopian, fantasy, and also romance. I'm interested to read this. Super cute book, by the way. I don't know if it's being released yet, so that's something I'm gonna have to find out before I keep talking about it. We still have quite a few books to get through, but let's just keep going. So this one is The Haunting Wives by Makeup. I freaking love thrillers like this, and I have a feeling I'm really gonna like this. This one's actually quite popular. It says, Sophie O'Neill left behind an envy-inspiring career and the stressful competitive life of big city Chicago to settle down with her husband and young son in a small Texas town. It seems like the perfect life with a beautiful home in an idyllic rural community, but Sophie soon realizes that life is now too quiet and she's bored and restless. Then she meets Margot Banks, an alluring socialite who is part of an elite clique, secretly known as the Hunting Wife. Sophie is completely drawn to Margot and is swept into her mysterious world of late-night target practice and dangerous partying. As Sophie's curiosity gives way a full-blown obsession, she slips further away from the safety of her family and deeper into the nest of vipers. When the body of a teenage girl is discovered in the woods where the Hunting Wives meet, Sophie finds herself in the middle of a murder investigation and her life spirals out of control. I love thrillers with there's like some type of wife drama, so I think I'm really gonna like this one. Super cute cover too. Book, it's actually a hardcover. I also got it on Book Outlet. So many mixed reviews about this book, if I'm totally honest. A lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it. A lot of people find this super confusing. I have no idea what the book is about. I know it's set in some type of summer setting. This is by E. Lockhart. This is gonna be my first book by her, and I'm excited if I'm totally honest. Let's see where the description's at. It says, we were liars. A beautiful and distinguished family, a private island, a brilliant damaged girl, a passionate political boy, a group of 4 friends, the liars, whose friendship turns destructive, a revolution, an ancient, a secret, lies upon lies, true love, the truth. We Were Liars is a modern, sophisticated suspense novel from National Book Award finalist and Prince Award honoree E. Lockhart. No idea what this book's gonna be about. I hope it's not too confusing because I'm not like that good of guessing plot twists or anything, so it might have to be one of those books where I have to look up at the end what the book was about, and this happened to me before and that's okay, but I'm really up for the challenge. Then I got a classic book. So this is 1984 by George Orwell, and I really like this edition too. It's kind of like a soft leather edition. I think this is the book. It's a horror book. I have no idea what this book's about. It's pretty much about the future. So this was written like a long time ago, and he's writing about 1984, like set in the future. So I don't know if there's science fi. I don't really know what the book is about. Just look it up. It's a really famous book. I'm sure a lot of people have read it, but if I'm ever in the mood for a classic, then I'll be reading this. Okay, the next 2 books are super thick. So I got this book because I saw a TikTok about it, and then I was like, I have to read it. I have no self-control when it comes to that. If I see a TikTok about a book, or I see a quote, or I see when they post the aesthetic of the book, I have to have it. So this one, I didn't realize it's gonna be so freaking thick. It's gonna be almost 600 pages, and I don't know when I'm gonna be watching this. It's gonna be a movie sometime soon. It's a New York Times bestseller. It's called The Nightingale. I'll read you the description. It says, this is by Christine Hanna. It says, with courage, grace, and powerful insight, best-selling author Christine Hanna captures the epic panorama of World War II and illuminates an intimate part of history's solemn scene, the Women's War. Nightingale tells the story of 2 sisters separated by years and experienced by ideals, passion, and circumstance, each embarking on her own dangerous path towards survival, love, and freedom in German-occupied, war-torn France. A heartbreakingly beautiful novel that celebrates the resilience of the human spirit and the durability of the women. It is a novel for everyone, a novel of a lifetime. A very thick book. So this is like historical fiction, and I'm very excited for that. I've never read a book like this, and I do really like the topic of World War II. I think eventually when I'm in the mood for it, I will be reading this. Then the next book, it was kind of expected for me to be including this in this haul because as of recently I have become obsessed with the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, and I'm currently on book 2, A Court of Mist and Fury. I'm almost done with that one, and I had to get the next one. This is A Court of Wings and Ruin. If I'm totally honest, I think book number 2 might be my favorite one out of the series because I really like one of the characters, but I still had to get this one. I'm not gonna read you the description of this book, but pretty much this series is about a girl that she's in the human world, and then she goes into this fairy world because she did something. She committed a crime. That's how she's gonna pay with like a life sentence, and then there she like meets this high fae and she falls in love with him. It's kind of like book number 1, and then the story kind of takes from there, and all the characters, the friends from some of the characters, the Mad Queen or whatever. I know this is not Game of Thrones, but anyways, there's just so much in this series. This is by Sarah J. Maas. I'm pretty sure you know this series, but if you don't, this is book number 3. And the very last book that I have to show you is another thriller. This one's called The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins. This title might sound really familiar because I did read a book called The Wife Upstairs, but that was by Frida McFadden, another one of my favorite thriller authors. This is a completely different book, but this one is really popular. This is by Rachel Hawkins, and it says, meet Jane. Newly arrived at Birmingham, Alabama. Jane is a broke dog walker in Thornfield Estates, a gated community full of McMansions, shiny SUVs, and poor housewives. Love that. The kind of place where no one will notice if Jane lives at discarded, I have no idea what that word is, and jewelry off the side tables and her well-heeled clients, where no one will think to ask Jane if that's even her real name. I guess she's like still stuff from the rich people. And then it says, meet Eddie, recently widowed. He became Thornfield State's most mysterious resident. Even since his wife Bea drowned in boating accident with her best friend, their bodies lost to the deep. Jane can't help but see an opportunity in Eddie. My books all just fell. We're gonna have to fix that. He has to fall for each other. Jane is haunted by the legend of Bea, ambitious beauty and successful entrepreneur with rags to riches origin story. How can she, plain Jane, ever measure up? And how can Jane win Eddie's heart before her past or his catches up to her with her? I can't even read anymore. With delicious suspense, I'm not even gonna read it. It's being compared to Jane Eyre, which is a Jane Austen book, I think. Interesting. I could be very wrong. I don't know if Jane Eyre was actually by Jane Austen. I think it is. Is it though? I'll look that up and I'll get back to you guys. I should know this is a really classic book, but it's being compared to that book. So last book that I have to show you. I'm about to pick all the books up so you can see how many books I just show you. This is the biggest book haul I have ever done on this channel. With that being said, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and close this video up. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I show you a ton of books and I'm really excited to read all of these. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Let me know what books I should get. Let me know if you enjoy the Shatter Me series. I'm really excited for that. And I'm also excited to continue the journey of reading more thrillers and also Court of Thorns and Roses. And yeah, that's all I have for today. One more time, make sure to subscribe and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye guys.